Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about choosing replacement ewe lambs and how I like to do that, and my 4 criteria for choosing replacement lambs. So when you're first getting started, it's hard to kind of decide who stays and who goes. And when I was first starting out, I could only keep a couple girls every year because our space is very limited. So if you have this issue, this is probably a good video for you, and you can kind of narrow down your choices. It is hard to choose between everyone. I have an issue every year trying to decide who I want to keep and who's going to be sent to the butchers. So I do have my criteria on here, and I'm just going to talk about that. So my 4 criteria that I use to determine which ewe lambs I keep is health history, conformation, temperament, and genetic potential. So when I talk about health history as my first point, one of the things I look for is specifically to do with the lamb herself. Does her mom have any issues lambing her? Is her mother a ewe that tends to get sick a lot? How are their feet? Not necessarily just the mothers, but also the lamb, whether it be Romeo or Hercules. How are their feet overall? Do they get really overgrown? And are they hard to maintain? Do they regularly have issues with parasites? I find most of my girls are pretty good. I do have some issues with parasites from time to time, which is normal. Hi, Tallulah. But overall, how is she as a mother, and what is her health history like? Usually, if the rule of thumb is if the ewe is pretty good and doesn't have a lot of issues, then the lamb will be pretty good as well and not have a ton of issues. There's always exceptions to that rule, of course, but overall, that's usually what tends to happen. So a good example of this would be, let's do Sesame. So Sesame's I got one ewe right there, and she is mother to Sophie and Surrey right there. And Surrey is this year's ewe lamb, and I'm very pleased with her, and obviously I kept her because I named her. You guys know my rule. It's that I only name the ones that I keep. So Sophie was last year, and she had this ewe lamb this year, and she's a great mom. She had a second one, but her twin unfortunately died. And Surrey is this year's. She's going to be bred to Hercules probably November, December. And Sesame has had a great health history. No issues. Her feet can sometimes get long if I don't trim them, but that's on me, not her. She's usually not really wormy, and she's no trouble putting on weight and keeping weight, which is good. And she's also a really good mom in general. Hi, Skittles. So my second point is conformation, and when I am choosing ewe lambs, I like to look not only at their mother's conformation, but at theirs. And when they're just itty-bitty babies, you obviously can't tell how they're going to be, but around, a couple months, you'll be able to really see how she's going to fill out. One of my favorites, and my first ever ewe lamb that I kept, was Wrinkles, and she is right here, this gray ewe there. She has a fantastic build. She's everything I want. She is stocky and good build. She puts on weight really easily, which is good. So when she has babies, like right now, she's about a 3 or 4 when you're just scoring her. That's my girl, good Wrinkly. And you can kind of see. That's what I'm looking for. Nice strong legs, a good top line, a nice deep barrel. She's a tank, and that's personally what I like. Her ewe lamb that she had last year is Winona, this black one here. and she is the same, don't kick her, she's the same build. If she comes up, if anybody can make her move. But she's really what I'm looking for too. You can see that she's a great build as well, nice and stocky. That's ultimately what I'm looking for. Do all of my ewe lambs look like this? No. Sugar had a ewe lamb last year who is currently breeding with Herky, Sumacs over there, but she looks just like her mom. She not that super big, she's on the smaller size, but she's a great ewe lamb, and one of the reasons why I kept her is my next point. So my next point is temperament. So when I'm choosing ewe lambs, I do tend to lean towards the ones that are very friendly, like Cookin here. I find I like all my sheep to be like that, super friendly and easy to handle. I can call them and they can come up. That's what I like. And when I'm looking at ewe lambs, I tend to lean towards the ones that maybe their mother and I have a good relationship and she comes to me all the time, so her ewe lamb is more likely to come to me. I find that with Sophie's ewe lamb. She's really sweet and she comes over to me because I go over to Sophie and Sophie lets me love up on her. This is probably one of my biggest things when I'm choosing a ewe lamb, is how easy she is to handle. We're a smaller operation here, but I do like all my animals to be handled easily and have no issues, especially during like lambing time, or if they get tangled in a fence or something. I don't want them to be more stressed out than they already are, and having that good relationship with them already really helps in the long run, and in those situations specifically. My last point the last criteria that I like to use when I'm choosing ewe lambs is their genetic potential. So when I talk about genetic potential, I mean who is going to give me twins and triplets, or who might give me twins and triplets. I usually tend to keep ewes that are twins or triplets. I kept Violet's 3 girls when she lambed 2 years ago. Valor, Vanessa, and Virginia. And they've been great. They've already lambed once. Ginny and Nessa each gave me a baby boy, and Valor unfortunately gave me 2 stillborn boys. But they had no issues lambing. I was there for 2 of the lambings. No issues. I did help a little bit just to help and get those babies out because it was very cold and I wanted them to be warmed up as soon as possible. But yeah, I tend to choose the ones that are hopefully going to give me the twins and triplets. That's what you want on your operation. You know, the ewe has 2 teats and it's easier for her to nurse 2. And they grow a little bit better. Then you have 2 lambs to sell as opposed to just 1. Or if you're keeping them and they're both ewes, you can kind of choose your favorite. And this is definitely where you can play favorites. I chose Wrinkles as my replacement ewe lamb when I was first starting out. I had 3 lambs to sell, and I chose her over her sister because I really liked her. I liked how she was turning out, and I thought she'd be a good addition to my flock, and I was right. So there you have it. That's how I choose my replacement ewe lambs. I hope this kind of gives you guys an idea of what to look for when you're first starting out, how to choose them, and it's definitely made my life simpler, kind of not letting my emotions get in the way too much, and having this set of rules that I kind of follow, and if she ends up being a really good ewe, that's awesome. If she doesn't work out, then she'll probably end up with the butchers, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, this is Sesame. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will be back with another video soon.